As for my individual reflection, while working on this assignment, I have gotten to review three articles on reading and writing strategies, and it had made me realize how complex reading writing strategies can be at some times. It showed me that reading and writing strategies, when they're being applied, it needs to be involved with it has to involve emotions, a lot of careful planning, and also self-awareness for both the educator and the student. One of the article that I've reviewed has mentioned how even struggling students could benefit from various strategies, such as metacognitive or social strategies that provides them with support and motivation. Also, the challenges that were mentioned in the article are very relatable. It includes challenges like exam pressure, low motivation, limited vocabularies. So, these are the type of common struggles which even we have experienced when we were an ESL student in Malaysia. The article has also showcased how reading and writing aren't just academic tasks, but it should be viewed as a process that requires a lot of self awareness, as I said, and also the right strategy in order to be effective in the end. Lastly, would be the differences that were shown in the article on how typical and struggling students make use of these types of strategy. This is why it is important for educators to provide and also consider various strategies when teaching in order to support students who have different learning needs. Sorry, and that's all for me. I'll pass it on to the next presenter. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Keetanjali Perumal Bharati. Today I will be explaining about my intuitive reflection on this assignment. So before doing this assignment, I used to think that reading and writing is a part of a lesson. But now, after I've done this assignment, I realized that these are actually a powerful tool for many students to overcome their weakness when it's come to reading and writing. And they don't just help them to become a good reader and good writer, but also it helps them to think more clearly and also to be more confident on themselves. And based on the article we have chose, one strategy that stood out to me is peer feedback. Why peer feedback is because I love how it allows students to comment on each other's work and also not just depending solely on the teachers, even for the small things. So where it makes the learning environment more interactive, and also it helps build the confidence in the students among students, and also it helps them to gain more ideas, different ideas, and so on. And the next one is pre-reading strategy. It might be sound small, but pre-reading strategies are like where the students are able to predicting what is the topic about or what the text is all about even before the teacher itself introduces them. So when they are able to, in the process of predicting, the students are able to guess what is the text is all about. So in that process, the students won't be feel left behind, and also it will help most of the students who are feel shy and also who are always love to be in their comfort zone. So it will help them to move out from their comfort zone. And also the next one is journal writing, because not every students are ready to write a full perfect essay at the very beginning. So journal writing will encourage them to not only journal writing, even asking the students to write a small sentences will encourage them to express their idea without focusing more into the grammaticals and punctuations and so on. And also it will help a lot of students in many ways. And why this relates to Malaysian classroom or ESL classroom is basically, in some schools I've noticed that there are still a lot of students who are feel shy, or even to or tell their opinion or share their ideas, and also they used to be in their comfort zone until the end. So by doing these strategies or incorporating these strategies in teaching, like peer feedback, pre-reading strategies, and also journal writing, will give them like a way for them to overcome. And also that's why I believe these strategies are really matter in ESL classroom. And to conclude my part, I believe reading and writing strategies are not just classroom techniques, and also they are literally a student support system where the future teachers also, as a future teachers, we need to know what the students need and also guide them according to it, and using the right strategy at the right time. Thank you, that's all.
Hello, now I'm going to talk about my part. So, in today's classroom, students often show great excitement using the technologies such as tablets, educational apps, and also games. While these tools can increase motivational and engagement, but they don't always lead to improve the academic performance. In fact, many students enjoy the activity, but it's not retain the knowledge as effectively. Just in the context of nation schools, particularly in the rural areas, access to the technology is very limited. Many classrooms still rely on the textbooks, workbooks, and the teacher's guidance. So traditionally, pen and paper methods retain the essential because they are practical and also accessible to build the fundamental skills. From personal experience, a balanced approach worked best, like starting with the fun tech-based activities to capture their interest, like followed by more focused reading or writing tasks to strengthen the students' understanding. So this combination helps the student enjoy learning while also building lasting skills. But ultimately, it's not about choosing between the what enjoyment and the effectiveness. It's all about blending the both to support the meaningful learning for each and every student. So that's all from me. Thank you.
For my perspective, I focus on two strategies, which are gamification tools and also the web-based peer feedback. So, first of all, I personally think that reading activities sometimes they can get really boring if the activities are too plain or too repetitive. Gamification makes reading fun and engaging. When we turn the activities into games, the students they will enjoy it. They will get excited. They will get interested, and they feel like want to participate in the activities. Second strategy I focused on was web-based peer feedback because based on my experience, I think activities actually can take a lot of time to finish the activities. When the teachers they give the task to their students in the class, some of them might not be able to complete the task in the class. So the task become like their homework, so they can complete it at home. So with web-based, using web platforms or blogs or anything, this will help the students to continue to write in the blog anywhere and anytime. So when students are commenting or give feedback to each other works, they are actually learning how to evaluate their ideas and the structure better, and this will help them improve their writing. On my experience during my teaching practicum, I was placed in a mixed ability class, which some students were advanced and some students were struggling to read and write, even the basic one. Or like students that struggling, they kind of really easily to get lost interest in learning. Then I found the gamified tool. These strategies really helped me because they caught the attention both of high and low students. But of course, both of these strategies only work well if the teachers gives a clear instruction and also sets a proper guidelines. Like since peer feedback is public and online, students also need to learn and need to be reminded about using respectful language and proper behaviors. So to sum up my point, I believe combining gamification tools, web-based peer feedback, and also the strategy-based reading class is actually a great way to make reading and writing lessons more fun, flexible, and also effective, especially in ESL classroom context.
My name is Nur Ismahani and I'm going to present my individual reflection. From this study, I've learned and come to understand that struggling students do not actually lack of any strategies. The issue is they are just not being explicitly taught on how to use them or explore the different other strategies. In many classrooms that I have observed, actually some students seems unsure or rigid when it comes to tackling reading and writing tasks. So as a teacher, we have to personally assess students in what kind of strategies they are currently using in their study, and we can also offer them tailored support such as visual aids, group discussion, or even encourage them to talk their own thinking. Also, I have found that the Oxford taxonomy is very helpful for the teacher, because it will allow teacher to consider memory, cognitive, metacognitive, social, and also effective strategies. It's like small things like asking students to set goals before a task, and let them do a quick self-check, open their finished task, because it will boost their confidence, and then it will allows them to be more independent, and also it will increase engagement between students and the teachers, and also students and students. Also, when we embed these strategies into daily lessons in everyday lesson in classroom activities, it will give a very big differences, and also it will help those students that have been left behind. So I conclude that teachers are not actually just teaching students on academic context. We are also teach students on how to learn. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Novatin Fartini binti Rahmat, and I'm going to introduce and explain my individual reflection for this assignment. Throughout the assignment, I've been exploring a lot of the different strategies of learning and teaching method, and this have a great impact on the outcome of the lesson itself. Depends on the types of teaching and learning methods. So one thing that I learned from this assignment is that the emotional engagement for the learning context is very important, because this study highlighted that even though both of the gamified method and the traditional method have quite a similar outcome, but for the gamification method, it shows a lot of the enthusiasm in the learners themselves, and it shows that the learners have more motivation than the traditional method. So this highlighted, and it's shown that the students has more interest in the gamification method. And then next, the existing local policy that align with the interactive learning method have shown me that this supports my understanding of the gamification method, that it is not just a creative teaching method, but it is also a flexible and interactive educational strategy that fits the Malaysian ESL classroom itself. So this has also increased my critical thinking skill throughout this assignment, and I also realized and discovered that both gamification method and traditional method can be combined to fit and suit the learners' needs and requirements themselves. So overall, to conclude this assignment, it gave me a clear and straightforward vision of what the ESL educators or teachers should gain inspiration from, which is from the value of an enjoyable and exciting lesson experience, but with the good outcomes from it. So that is all from me. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Mr. Razi and my fellow friends. My name is Tamsul, and I want to present my individual reflection for my assignment. So firstly, the research articles was really difficult to find. This is because we had to find a proper research article based on very proper sources, and we had to find a research article based on the title itself, right, from teaching, reading, writing and learning. So you need to find a proper research article for teaching and learning. So it took nearly 30 minutes or 1 hour of my time to find a proper research article from the proper sources, but luckily we were able to find it, and it really took up a lot of my time to find proper articles, I can say that. So that was one of the challenging parts. So next is student centered. I can see that after I read the article, I can see that most of the content, research items, all materials, all were based on student centered. Student centered as in activities and content must be helpful to students instead of teachers. Student centered is different, teacher centered is different. Teacher centered, it means can help us teachers teach the students, but student centered can directly help the students to learn. Next, English as second language. So as you all know, all of us almost have our first language, it could be our mother tongue, and our second language must be English. So this research article can help second language learners, second English language learners. It can help those students to master and be proficient in their English language. And thirdly, this after I read this article, I can see that this article, it facilitates students learning using technology. So our 21st technology, such as our phones, laptops, and PCs. So not only that, technology can be another form of technology as well. Just like you can facilitate learnings in schools or universities using slides, Canva, PowerPoint, and then like quizzes and all that. So those type of technology is very good for students, for upcoming students who are very proficient in their 21st technology. And next, not only we can use technology for learning, but we can also use technology to show their expressions, to show students expression. So using technology can maybe be beneficial and helpful to students because it can help them show their expression, showcase their expressions. Like they after they use the technology to do their learnings to learn, they might feel they will be confident. They will be confident in learning the English language. They will be confident when presenting. They'll be confident next time to use technology and slides and all to be confident in their learning. So this technology can help students to be confident in their English learning, their language and all. And lastly, I can say that this research article, and based on my personal experience, it can be effective way to improve the four English skills of students. So if you do know the four English skills is reading, writing, listening, and speaking. So these four English skills can be helpful to the student and can help students in the upcoming generations, and it can really help them to be confident in their English language. It can make them speak better. It can maybe make them read better, write better, proper essays, write long essays, good essays, or in terms of listening, they'll be able to cater to other students' listening needs. They'll be able to listen well and all that. So that is all for my part, and that is all for my reflection. Thank you very much to Sir Razi and to my fellow classmates for listening throughout my presentation. Thank you very much.